Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What is going on, Privy Nation? It is Friday, guys. Deal Finding Friday. You know what it is. We are using Privy to find opportunities, find amazing deals, talk to some agents, make some offers, and get some stuff under contract. So, without further ado, guys, we're going to hop right in. All right, so let me share my screen. I'm going to show you guys my email. So, I am actually helping out. I've got a buddy, David, that I work with. He's looking for deals in Tampa. So let me present my screen here. So that's where we're going to be looking. And guys, if you um, if an obstacle or a challenge that you're running into is, oh, Nate, my market's really competitive. Everything I call on, I'm like $100,000 off, or everything I call on already has 15 offers. How do I navigate through all of that? Guys, you are in the right place. I love those calls. I love them. Okay, there's 17. Man, there's so much going on. So these are the properties that Privy sent to him from the filters he set up. Now he's getting so many things sent his way, so I might need to talk with him and have him tighten up his filters because he's getting a ton of stuff. And some of these honestly, these all look really good. But some of these might not quite be what we're looking for. Let's see. So this is a 3-1, 3-2. So guys, what we're looking through right now is Privy, the the filters that we had set up, sent my buddy David properties that met his criteria. And now what we're doing is Privy did all the hard work for us. It said, hey, here's the 17 properties that meet your criteria. Now all we're doing is flipping through and seeing, hey, which one, two, or three of these are worth our time to call? Which ones have opportunities? So I kind of like the look of this one. This is a little far out. Not really geographically where I'm looking for. Let's see, what else we got? We got this. This is sold. Active. Let's see. This one looks decent. Kind of like this one. 235. Let's go back to the top. Let's look at this one where they had a price cut. It's been listed for 32 days. Love it. Now, the things I don't like about this property is not a whole lot of value I can add to it, right? Let's see, before and after. Okay, yeah, this was bought in 06, and it's listed. So this was, yeah, they bought it for 130, and they're selling it for 220 from 229. So we are not the right buyer for these people, right? This is a fix and flipper. Not what we're looking for. This is 2 days ago, 32,000 square feet. Let's see. Not bad shape. Not really what we're looking for. Kitchen, great starter home, new AC. Right. All right. So I'm looking at the notes here. Not really, the outside's like, maybe, I don't know. Let's take a look to see if, but the inside doesn't really need much updating, right? Pretty decent property, pretty solid. And then I took a quick peek at the notes, and I'm not seeing anything that says, cash offers only, investor special, needs work, nope, it's just, nice home, big fence, great starter home, right? The language they're using is geared towards a first-time home buyer, somebody that's looking to live in it. Now let's look at this thing. Oh, this is the one that's a bit far out. Right? But boom, look, right there. Fantastic fixer-upper. Solid concrete block home. I like that. They got a lot of details here. How long has this been listed for? 4 days. Metal roof. Updated, beautiful. Originally constructed in 1952. Then an unpaved road. Let's see, just taking a quick peek, price low. As new bar will need to finish the remodel. So let's look some more at these pictures. I mean, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Okay, all right. The kitchen could definitely use some work. Okay. Now I'm not as familiar with Tampa as my buddy is. This isn't typically my market's more closer to Orlando. So I'm not too sure as far as the price points and what I don't really have buyers in this area. He does. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick peek at comps. I'm going to go to I hit the comps button, right? Then we're going to go to settings. I like to do all. And then I hit save. And then boom, look at all this stuff that pops up here. Beautiful. And then I just want to take 2 seconds just to get an idea of what I'm looking at. I'm just trying to get a feel for what's the relative price range. So a lot of stuff selling 300s. These are nice houses though. Now these are also different, totally different neighborhoods, right? So got to keep all of that in mind. But I'm just going to, okay, this sold for 330. 339. Okay. Let's give this person a call and see what's going on. All right, so let's go up here. Gonna copy this. We're gonna call Brian. All right, let's call Brian. See if Brian wants to do a deal on Friday. Everybody wants to do a deal on Friday. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hope you guys are enjoying it. All right, let's call Brian. 813-714-2317.
You have reached Brian Aventino. Please.
Come on, Brian. Let's try him again.
You have reached Brian Aventino. Please.
All right, Brian did not pick up, so we're gonna move on. Now, what I would normally do is I would leave a voicemail, and I would also shoot him a text message right away, and then I'd probably call him back in like an hour from now, and try calling him again. And same thing, I would call twice, leave a voicemail, send another text message. So if you think about that, in just 2 instances, normally what I would do is I would get 5 contacts with the person, right? 2 calls or voicemail, so technically 4 touches, right? And then I'd do that a second time, maybe just an hour or so later. That's 8 touches. 8 touches just to get in touch with one agent with the property that I'm looking for. Right, that's the kind of level. If you just call one time, and leave a voicemail, or if you only call one time and don't even leave a voicemail or anything like that, guys, that's not going to cut it, right? We got to be assertive. Let's see, what else do we have here? I know there's a bunch of other stuff in the email. Let's look at this one. We got Christmas lights hanging on this thing. All right, third-party data. All right, so this one's not popping up correctly. Let's see, was there any others on this list? Let's look at this one. Now, I'm not a big fan of 2-2s. I feel like I see a lot more 2-bedrooms in Tampa than I do Orlando. Did not flood during hurricane. Okay, it's good to know. So could use some updating, but it's not terrible shape. It's only been listed for 2 days. Let's take a real quick peek at comps. it's listed for 235. Yeah, this is probably not going to be a fit for what we're looking for. But now the reason why I'm also kind of skipping through these pretty quick is because we have so many options to look at. All right, so yeah, I'm looking like there's some higher ones, but yeah, these are like 3.2s with a garage. This is going to be something totally different property. So honestly, 235, they're looking for somebody to buy it and move in it. Now, I typically, for price, I don't put too much weight on price because price can change drastically, but it's only been listed for 2 days. So if it's only been listed for 2 days and it really doesn't need a whole lot of work, if there's not a ton of value, I mean, yeah, we could update this and whatnot, but it's not like, falling over, right? It's not like there's tons of rehab that this house needs. So typically when you call them, if it's only been listed for 1 or 2 days, they're going to be like, hey, look, yeah, maybe we'll go with an offer like yours at some point, but it's only been listed for 2 days. We're going to give it some more time until we, and see what we get. Now, this same exact house, same exact price. If it had been listed for 30 days plus, I'd give it a call because a lot can change, 30 days from now. But if it's only 1 or 2 days, don't want to waste my time. All right, let's go back. Let's go back to the email. So we looked through these 17, and then he's got another 15 here. Oh man, we definitely gotta adjust his search. He is getting a ton of stuff. Hey, I started watching this channel, binge watching the 30. Oh, awesome. Watching the 30-day challenge. Love it. The last few videos, I've noticing one of the Nathan twins. We are not twins for the record. I feel like we should just start telling people that we are and see if it works. Oh, let's look at this. I can't tell if this looks like it needs work or not. Yeah, love it. Love that. I hope you're enjoying the 30-day challenge. Definitely watch it. Privy is the #1 tool I used during my 30-day challenge, and it got me a $20,000 deal. I spent $0 on marketing. Crazy. Dream pool home. You can make this your dream pool home. So I don't know what the deal is here. I just want to take a peek. This looks, how long has this been listed for? 2 days. Let's just call him up. Let's call up Christy. Christy, one of my best friends' name is Christy. All right, let's try the real estate book. Direct. We do not want the office number. Oh, I hate office numbers. All right, let's call Christy up. 561-351-0912. Hey, Christy.
Who's calling?
Hey, Christy. This is Nathan. How you doing?
This is our assistant. How can I help you?
Oh, I was actually calling about a listing of hers. Is she in the office?
And which listing is it?
The one on Betty Lane.
Okay, how can I help you?
I was looking to speak directly with her, hopefully.
Are you the buyer or realtor?
I'd be a buyer.
Okay, and do you want to set up a showing, or what questions do you have?
Yeah, I was looking to ask her some more questions about the property situation, things like that. I'm definitely interested in the property, but of course, if it sounds like something that might not be the right fit, wouldn't want to waste her time.
Most of the properties, I know most of the properties, and if you want to hire her as a buyer's agent, I can have her call you back.
Okay, is there any way I could call her directly?
No, I'm sorry. She's so busy. So what are your questions? Because most of them I have the answer to.
Got it. Okay. I was looking at 1456 South Betty Lane. I'm looking at it as a potential investment property, and I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit about the property and anything in particular that you think would be important for someone like me to know.
Okay. We have many offers. sight unseen. Many investors, because of the fact that it has a pool. It does need some work. We priced it accordingly. There are no showings until Wednesday. And the sellers are elderly and they're in no rush.
Okay, got it. So closing timeline, none of that matters.
Nope.
Right, perfect.
I can't say matter. I'm sure they're not looking for something that is 90 days, but I'm guessing that 30 to 60 days would be perfect for them.
Got it. Okay. Yep, that's not a problem.
Short inspection period, so we usually do 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody comes in as an investor and will give us a good price with no inspections, we'll consider that.
Got it. And now, obviously, my number one goal is I don't want to waste your time. Of course, I don't want to waste mine. And my goal is I never want to insult somebody with a low offer. So I guess for this one, I know you said you already have multiple offers, sight unseen. Where would I need to be at in order to be competitive?
Hold on.
Got stopped at the gatekeeper, her assistant. But so far, she's given us some good info. So let's see how it plays out.
Okay. So we won't even review any offers until, the first week. And once we do showings, and there's so much activity on it that I'm guessing they will get asking or close to it. Okay.
So you did review offers or you didn't review offers?
We have a stack of them. We are not going to review offers that are less than $375 and just go to the wayside.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, no, that's helpful. And then for the house, what kind of work does it need?
It needs updates, that's all.
When
old people,
yeah.
I have another call. We typically won't hold something for an investor to get into town. So if you're going to make an offer, we suggest you come into town, or like I said, it needs to probably be, at this stage, it probably needs to be asking price. But if time goes on, in 30 days, they might reduce it. I doubt it will be on the market.
Yeah, price isn't so much the issue. It's more of just if it's able to be the right fit. Getting someone boots on the ground to walk it, that's not a problem. It just really is a matter of if it's worth the time to send my person out.
As the listing states, we will have pictures after the 13th. Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, this is the best number for me. If Christy wants to reach out, she can reach out anytime. Otherwise, sounds like you guys are probably all set.
We are all set, but thank you for calling.
All right, take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye. That's why I don't deal with gatekeepers. So that was an interesting conversation, right? So sometimes you're going to get that, and that's why she kind of got put off off her game a little bit, because we'd kind of pushed the envelope of, hey, we want to talk to Christy. Now, the funny thing was she didn't give us any useful information. As far as, she was just like, oh, we've got a bunch of offers. And I'm like, that's not helpful. That's exactly why I didn't want to talk to the gatekeeper. But on the flip side, right, if we're in Christy's shoes, that's the whole point of having the gatekeeper. So for them, they, if they have a bunch of offers, which, could be true, could be not. They probably do. Honestly, the thing with investment properties, because they get such a volume of outreach, for them, it's just, they're like, yeah, we're just going to take whatever comes our way. So that's fine. And as far as agent relationship goes, typically, if they have an assistant and that's who you're going to be working with, that's not the relationship we're looking for, right? So, and as you see, quick conversation off the phone, on to the next, right? And then what we left there was at the end, I was like, hey, I'll tell you what, it's not really about price, blah, blah, blah. It's really about if this is able to be a fit or not, if Christy, right? And so the last kind of ditch effort was we tried to play the scarcity of like, oh, no, I might be able to pay more than you think. If you're interested, you can give me a call back. No, you got another call to run to. And she's like, we're good. Also, another thing you got to be careful with assistants, right? If you have somebody making these calls for you, or if you have cold callers or an acquisitions manager, guys, make sure you listen to the recordings, because stuff like this happens a lot. So let's move on. What else do we got? Man, people are testy today. TSD. All right, let's see. Why are realtors? Well, the funny thing is, I don't even think she was a realtor. Well, she probably was. She probably has her license, but she was just an assistant. And like, so with Tampa, with a competitive market, if, to be fair to her, she probably gets 1,000 calls, right, that are very similar to that. And especially when it's an investment property, it's like you've got all the investors, you've got people sending offers, investors making calls, then all the wholesalers, right? And Tampa's a really hot market, so her phone's probably just melting. And on an investment property, if they've already gotten a ton of offers, which is usually the case, they don't really want to have the conversations. They're like, look, this isn't the process we want to go through. It's not a matter of whether we sell it or not. It's just whatever the highest offer is. And so for them, typically, whether it's $3,000-$5,000 more, it really doesn't make a difference to them. They're like, look, whatever's going to be the easiest to sell this thing is what works best for them. And so that's why they're like, they kind of sometimes might give you that perception of like, hey, look, I'm not really interested in talking. If you want to submit an offer, submit an offer. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day. So that's kind of the perspective that some of them can have. Not true for everybody, but sometimes it's definitely the case. And guys, look, end of the day, part of the business, right? We move on. We're on to the next one. No biggie. All right. And I'm actually really glad you guys got to see that, because I feel like, if you're calling agents, you guys have probably run into that yourselves, right? And the funny thing is, so sales negotiating, that's the thing I really like. That's something that I've developed over time. And a lot of times we get asked, oh, how do I overcome this objection? Like, how do I overcome that? Guys, that person's kind of like an unmotivated seller. Like, there is no special word, there's no special phrase to completely change that person from unmotivated to motivated, right? For her, it's just like, okay, yeah, this is, we gave it the good old college try, right? We put a little bit of effort, and it was like, okay, she's still kind of giving us the cold shoulder, doesn't want to talk. Let's see. Let's look at this one. 2-1. Oh yeah. Fixer up, a great location, great price. All right. Let's try calling Matt here. Let's see if Matt's having a good day. I've got a good feeling about Matt. And guys, when that kind of call does happen to you, most people just stop right there. Guys, make that next phone call as quick as you possibly can. Same thing if you're talking directly to a seller. Whenever you have a bad phone call, guys, make that next one as quick as possible. And just know that's where most people usually stop. But not you guys, not Privy Nation. All right, let's call Matt here. 407-729-3169.
Hi, and thank you for calling. You've reached Matt Hemling.
I bet Matt's phone is blowing up on this property. I bet he has over 20 offers. That's my guess.
Hello, this is Matt.
Hey, Matt, it's Nathan. How you doing?
Good. What's up, man?
Not too much. I was calling about a listing here of yours, but it sounds like I caught you in the middle of something.
Oh, you're just at a house? Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah, I was just calling. Probably the house that my guess is your phone's probably been melting about. The one the one on.
Oh yeah, the one on 53rd.
Yeah, you know it. Yeah,
Oh
so
yeah.
I was calling to see if you could tell me a little bit about it. I'm obviously I'm looking at it as a potential investment opportunity, and was just wondering if there's anything specific that you could tell me about it. Anything in particular that you think might be important for someone like me to know?
Honestly, man, it's best to check it out. It needs everything, but there's a big spread in there. It's probably worth 350 to 375 fixed up. So, but yeah, it's vacant on a lockbox, and it's 2468.
Okay. Now for the house, do you think? I guess you've got a better idea. I can definitely have someone look at the house. Better idea. You know the house, the neighborhood better than me. What do you think is kind of the best play for it? Do you think it's best to fix it up nice and look to relist it? Do you think it'd be a better fit as a rental?
Man, everybody's got their own deal. I mean, for me, it's fix and flip, but really, whatever your strategy is.
Yeah. And for you, it sounds like you're an investor.
Yeah, yep, I am. So we fix and flip, and then we just flip these as well. So with some of them we don't do the work, and some of them we do. So
Oh, okay, cool.
just all depends. Yeah, man. So
Got it. And you're
cool. But yeah, check it out, and then let me know what you think.
Yeah, real quick, I just because I want to be respectful of your time, Matt, and of course I don't want to waste mine, and I know you guys will have no problem selling this, and of course I never want to insult you with a low offer. Just kind of the quick of it, where roughly do I need to be at in order to be competitive?
Well, we're going to look at them on Monday. Highest one we have right now is 225 with the 2-day inspection. So give you an idea, but a lot of other bullshit offers, but.
Got it. If now is this property one that you guys bought and took down and are listing it, or is there like other sellers involved?
I don't know what you're. Yeah, we so, if that's what you're asking.
I'm sorry, cut out there. What was that?
Well, I don't know what you're asking. If do we own it? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if there's anything, other than obviously price is most important. I just wasn't sure if there was sellers involved or if this was just like company owned.
No. I'm the seller.
So for you, other obviously price is most important. Anything other than price though that is important to you at all?
Very short inspection period and closing quickly. So I'm assuming by all these questions you're a flipper, which I don't mind, but yes, short inspection and price.
Yeah, and totally understand. So got it. If I was able to do 0 days inspection, good earnest down, all that works well for you. And then I'm guessing the sooner the better for close works well for you.
It does, man. It works well for me and most people, I
think. Right. Got it. And are you waiting till Monday to make a decision no matter what?
Unless you came in and was something I couldn't turn down, but yeah, more than likely.
Okay. If I was able to get to that offer, if I was able to match that with 0 days inspection and money down, is that something that could get the deal done?
Yeah, you know what? It can, but you gotta go check it out.
Yeah, no, I might be able to get someone there this afternoon. The lockbox is 2468.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I've got your number here, Matt. What I'll do is if I do send one of my guys over to take a look at it, I'll shoot you a text just to let you know that someone's swinging by. Does that work for you?
Yes, man. Sounds great. All right, I gotta get running now.
All right, thanks, Matt. Talk to you soon.
All right, see ya.
All right, take care. Bye-bye. All right. See you guys, that's why you got to make that second call as quick as possible. right? Because you go from down to up real quick. So this one, pretty funny. It's kind of sound like a surfer guy. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, bruh, you know, it just needs everything. So he was kind of in a rush, right? He picked up, you could tell he picked up only because we called him a second time in a row. Same thing. He has no problem selling his home. But did you notice when you go that extra mile, the difference between us and just mailing in an offer, right? He's like, we got some BS offers. We've got an offer with an inspection period. We're able to, even with him kind of being short and like he's busy doing stuff and he's got to run, we were able to uncover enough information just by getting on the phone with him of one, this is how you can beat other people to the deal, right? Somebody might be able to pay more than us. But just because we asked the question of, hey, if we were able to match that, hey, if we were able to do this, would that be able to get it done today? He's like, yeah, I think so. Right. So if I were able to put together an offer that had 0 days due, right? If I were to send a buyer to go walk it today, go look at it, and my buyer's like, yeah, I can buy it at blank price. And then if I were to call Matt back and say, hey, I can get this deal for you. I can match that price of 225, 0 days due diligence, and we're willing to put down, $10,000 non-refundable earnest, but on the contingency that it's only good for today. Do you think you'd take it? Probably. Could they make more money? Maybe. Maybe somebody would be willing to offer 230, 235, 240. Who knows? But, right, how's the old saying go? One in the hand's better than two in the bush. So that right here is why we call agents, why we have a conversation. And the other thing, if you notice, I asked him, so I could it kind of just sounded like he was a flipper. And he had mentioned, flips. And so that's why I asked, hey, is there a seller involved? Because if he's the flipper, right, and if they bought this and they're listing it on the MLS, it really just comes down to price and no inspection period, right? Price and speed, those two things. There isn't like, oh, well, what if we can clean it out or do that? None of that stuff's really going to matter. So that's why I was just trying to clarify that. So that is where we are at, guys. That is Deal Finding Friday. I'm just going to look at some of the comments you guys have here. Why are investors buying property at full asking price when you can see the house needs repairs? So it all depends on the price, right? As far as, someone will pay full list price if it's a deal at full list price, right? Same thing if I talk to a seller, hey, what price do you want from the home? And they say, oh, I want 200,000. Well, if I'm able to make it a deal at their asking price, I don't have to negotiate them lower. Right? If I'm able to pay what they want and it's able to be a fit for me, yeah, absolutely. All right. What else we got? What's the point of putting in an offer at list price when an investor is just going to see the list price online and buy it themselves? So the investor still needs to submit their own offer. So what's the point of putting in an offer at list price when investors are just going to see the list price online and buy it themselves? So with MLS property, I'm not sure if I'm understanding the question correctly, so I apologize, but I'll answer it the best I can. So preview's only good for comping. No, so I would actually respectfully strongly disagree with that, Wes. And so the reason being is the conversation we just had, right? That this property right here, I'm going to call a buyer and I might make money on this, because Privy allowed me to set up my filters so I didn't have to look through hundreds of listings in Tampa. It sent me the exact ones that match my criteria for what my buyers are looking for. And then on top of that, it gave me all the information on the property, the pictures. It gave me the property remarks. And then it gives me the MLS data so I can look at the comps in the area. And it's amazing as a comping tool. It's my favorite comping tool. And then on top of that, I could reach out to the agent, right? So I could reach out to Matt. And then from there, that's where I was able to have this conversation with Matt. That kind of put the deal on the table. Where every other investor, 90% of them just email an offer, right? And when he's like, oh, yeah, we have all these BS offers. That's what 90% of people do, is they'll just look at the price, they'll write up an offer in an email or something and just email it to the agent. To whereas we can have a conversation with the agent like we just did, and we were able, it went from, hey, Yep, it's listed for 219. Phone's melting. We're looking to make a decision on Monday. It went to that from, hey, this is the highest offer that I have right now with an inspection period. And then I said, hey, if I'm able to get an offer close to that or match it with 0 days inspection, blah, 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 can we get something done today? And he said, yes. So just from using Privy, just from making that one phone call, I might be able to beat out every other investor because I was able to build rapport with that agent and find out more information about it. I hope that kind of helps. And then lastly, how fast do you jump from market to market? I don't. I'm only doing this for a buddy that's working Tampa. Guys, pick one market. Every market has its own nuances. It has its own, kind of specific things. Guys, if you're trying to work more than one market, it can be incredibly difficult because every market's different. Every buyer's different. Everything has its own little unique things about it. And it's like each market, think of being in multiple markets. If you're in 3 different markets, it's like you're trying to build 3 different bridges at the same time. You go to one bridge and you put down 1 or 2 bricks. And then you run to the second bridge and you put down 1 or 2 bricks. And then the third bridge, 1 or 2 bricks. And then you're back, right? And it's like, oh my gosh, why is it taking me so long to get across this bridge and get a deal done? Well, it's because you're so much slower when building 3 bridges at the same time. Focus on just one market, guys, and I promise you there's enough deals in just one market for everybody watching this. Wes, but then an investor can just call after you, bring the deal to them, and call on it themselves. Bring the deal to them. Are you talking about if I have my buyer look at it? So that's why the way I do things, I have a relationship with my buyers. Could my buyers technically go behind my back if I don't have it under contract? Yeah. And again, I hope I'm understanding your question correctly, Wes. Could my buyers go behind my, technically, yeah. But if you have a relationship with your buyer, it's like, would I trust my best friend to go look at a house and not steal? Yeah, I would. And if he stole the house from me, it's like, okay, well, the only thing I'm missing out on is a property that's like, it might be a deal, it might not be a deal. It's going to require 0 days due diligence, earnest money deposit, all of these things to where if I was doing traditional wholesaling, I wouldn't be able to do the deal anyways. But because I have a relationship with my buyer, 1, it's somebody that I trust, somebody that I built a relationship with. And 2, even if that person did steal the deal from me, it's on a deal I would have never been able to do any other way. And so that's why this is so powerful. And that's why a lot of traditional wholesalers have a really hard time with agents or on market because, they're like, oh man, how do I overcome proof of funds? How do I overcome earnest money deposit? How do I overcome 0 days due diligence? All these things. Having a relationship with your buyer. Hope that helps answer. All right, man, I love it. You guys got so many questions. Hey, Nathan, when the agent sends over the contract in the buyer section, should I write and or designated entity or my name instead? Well, first and foremost, not an attorney, right? Got to go talk to an attorney for legal advice, blah, blah, blah. What I do, first off, I would want to make sure that the contract is assignable or know what your game plan is with that. If you're doing a double close, if you're assigning it, whatever the case may be, just make sure the contract reads that. And then if you have an LLC, I would just put it in, like I have an LLC, I would put it in my LLC's name. But if I didn't have an LLC, I would just put it in my name. Or if you have a relationship with your buyer, guys, you can even ask your buyer to just have an invoice. You can invoice your buyer at and just get paid that way. Like when you have a relationship with your buyer, guys, it's the paperwork's the easiest part. Let's see, what else do we got? When you find what you believe is a deal, but the negotiation does not go well, do you tell agents to pitch creative finance to the seller? So let me reread that. When you find what you believe is a deal, but the negotiation does not go well, do you tell agents to pitch creative finance to the seller? So no, I do not. So the number one thing, and I feel like this gets kind of mixed up with Uriel, if that's you, man, if we spoke earlier this week, what's up, brother? Good to see you. So creative finance, no, I don't. And the reason why is because creative finance, it just can chew up so much of your time. It's not that I hate creative finance. It's just, I don't know. I'm not drinking the same Kool-Aid that everybody else has been. Nothing wrong with creative finance. But in my experience, what I've found, creative finance, it only works if you have the foundation of wholesaling correct, which is a motivated seller. Creative finance, if I talk to a seller, right, and he's like, I won't sell you, I want 500,000 for my house. And if you know your cash offer is like 180, right? Or like 200, something really, really low. If I go to him, if I'm like, oh, well, if I'm able to come up to your price, would you give me terms? Anybody is going to hear you out and say, oh, well, what does that mean? What does that look like? Right? If you tell anybody, oh, hey, if I'm able to come up to your number, will you give me this? And they don't know what this means or this is, they'll ask you about it. And they'll listen to you explain to them for the next hour, 2 hours, whatever, all the different ways, we could do this, we could do that. Here's how you're protected. Here's the different ways we could structure it, blah, 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 blah. And then you might even get off the phone and then spend another hour to 2 hours putting together, okay, here's one option we could do. We work all the numbers this way. And then here's the second, here's the third option. And then you call them back and you're like, hey, here's all the different things we can do. And then the conversation just ends with, yeah, that sounds interesting, but I think if I were to sell it, I would just want to sell it outright. And guys, if you can't tell, this is me speaking from my own experience. I've talked to a lot of sellers. I've talked a lot about creative finance, and I have found the only time creative finance has worked is when you have an extremely motivated negotiations in general. The way I negotiate and the way that I've found to be the absolute most effective is I do not try to, hey, here's the offer, here's what works, here's what I can do. I try to uncover as much information as possible. And then whatever the obvious answer is, that's what my offer is going to be. So for example, I approach it almost like a doctor. I don't typically, if I go see a doctor, I don't typically go see a doctor and say, hey, I need this prescription. No, as a doctor, what do? There's so many different things they could do for you to help you out, whatever the case may be. Where do they start? The doctor asks you a bunch of questions. Hey, what's going on? What are your symptoms? How are you feeling? What about this? What about that? Right? And he gets all the information. And then from that, it becomes obvious, this is what you need to do. Right? Same thing with negotiating. When we talk to a motivated seller, when I ask them, a 180 cash offer obviously won't, like, they're motivated. They want to sell. They need to sell. They are highly motivated. But, they said they owe 180 on the house. So obviously my 180 cash offer wouldn't work because they said that they owe 180. They need $10,000 to move here to this place and blah, blah, blah. Right? So when you uncover all the information, the pathway becomes really, really clear. And same thing when we're talking to a seller or when we're talking to an agent. So I hope that helps. Guys, had an amazing time spending Friday with you. I hope you guys got some value out of today. And if you guys have not, or if you want to learn a little bit more, what on earth is Nathan talking about with these buyer relationships? How does that work? I don't know if this makes sense. Guys, I highly, highly, highly encourage you. Check out our free masterclass. It's live. We do it. It's going to be on Thursday next week. If you go to painlessflipping.com, you can sign up. It's totally free. Costs you absolutely nothing. And we go from A to Z. We don't even pitch you on anything. There's not like a course or anything that we sell at the end of it. It's literally 60 to 90 minutes of like, this is our whole strategy. This is how we approach real estate, and this is why it works. And if you've been cold calling or calling agents or making offers, if you guys have been putting in the work and just running into obstacles of like, oh man, this doesn't work, this doesn't work, this doesn't work. I'm not getting results. Guys, I promise you, you are not the only one. Come to the masterclass because we'll explain exactly why all of those things have been happening. Guys, have an amazing weekend. I will see you Friday next week, and hopefully I will see you all on Thursday as well. Until then, take care. Be safe.